everybody, what is going on? Hexlex here. I got another Master Duel video for you. Wanted to talk about post-ban list Malice today. Obviously with Red Ransom being banned, the way that this deck combos and what its end boards look like are going to be hugely different. So this will be a more extensive post-ban list deck primer. I'm going to show you combos, multiple combos, on how to set up boards now that Red Ransom is banned. After that, we're going to take a look at some live games, and that way we can see this deck playing through disruptions. At the end, we'll show off the deck list, and then I'll go over that. I'm here in Edo Pro just to make comboing and showing off the combos a little bit easier, since a lot of these involve opening cards that are at 1. So Dormouse here, we're going to start with the 1-card Dormouse line, normal summoning, and then activating Dormouse's effect in order to banish the March Hare from our deck. So let us trigger the effect of March Hare, adding to our hand, and we can then Link summon our Link Decoder using Dormouse as a material. From there, let's activate March Hare's effect, banishing Dormouse from our graveyard in order to special summon, and this will of course trigger the Dormouse effect to summon from the banish pile. Now we are going to link into our Malice White Binder using all 3 monsters on the field. We do want to use the effect of Link Decoder to revive. However, you do not want to use the on-summon effect of White Binder just yet. That's the effect that says when special summoned, target up to 3 cards in the graveyard, banish them. We're going to save that for a mid-combo extension later on. So we do want to activate Link Decoder. We do not activate White Binder at this point. We do, however, activate the on-field effect of White Binder. That says you can set 1 Malice Trap card from your deck. We're going to use that in order to set TB11. Now, TB11 is a card that was considered very optional beforehand, but I think is very mandatory now. We're going to activate TB11, banishing our White Binder on the field, and we're going to use that to special summon Chessy Cat from our deck. This will trigger the effect of White Binder to summon from the banish pile, and then we're going to draw a card. However, once again, we are not going to use the on-summon effect of White Binder to banish 3 cards from our graveyard just yet. So from here, we're going to special summon Cyberus Wicked using exactly White Binder plus Link Decoder as material. And then we can go into Lingeribo using Chessy Cat as material. This will trigger the effect of Cyberus Wicked. We can banish Chessy Cat from our graveyard in order to add the backup adding. This will trigger the effect of our Chessy Cat summon from banish. And now we can use backup Adagnister effect to special summon from hand, and then we'll use the on-field effect. We're actually going to want to add White Binder, or White Rabbit, sorry, from deck to hand, and we want to discard any card that is not White Rabbit. So I'll just discard this extra card I drew off White Binder here, but keep the White Rabbit in hand. That way you can activate Chessy Cat's effect, banishing White Rabbit from hand, drawing 2 more cards, and then now White Rabbit effect will activate, summoning from banish, and then we can set the GWC from our deck off the White Rabbit effect. Alright, now at this point we're going to want to make our Heart Scripter. Let's use one of our Malice monsters plus Lingeribo plus backup Adagnister for that. And then we're going to summon our Transcode Talker using the Cyberus Wicked plus Heart Scripter. This looks really weird, but the reason we do that is because we can go activate Transcode Talker, revive White Binder. And now we want to use the on-summon effect of White Binder. We're going to banish not only Heart Scripter, but we're also going to banish the TB11 from our graveyard as well. Now we can use the Heart Scripter effect in order to summon. It looks really weird that we also banish TB11, but this is actually a really important step, because with this card banished, now your Heart Scripter effect to banish one of your opponent's cards will be live right away during your opponent's turn. But at this stage, we're going to finish up by summoning Allied Code Talker Adagnister. We're going to use Transcode Talker, White Binder, plus our remaining Malice monster in order to do that, leaving the Heart Scripter on the field. Now we can activate the effect of Allied Code Talker, reviving Transcode Talker and the White Binder from our graveyard. And there you go. That is the 1-card combo for if you open Dormouse. So the way that you would play this board out is you would go Allied Code Talker, Adagnister, Tribute White Binder in order to negate an opponent's card effect. Then you can use GWC, revive White Binder. White Binder effect then activates to banish White Rabbit from your graveyard among any other Malice cards you want to banish. White Rabbit summons and then sets MTP from deck, which can then banish another card. And don't forget, because of Heart Scriptor plus that TB11 that we banished, we also have the Heart Scriptor banish established right away. So that's also on top of 2 cards that you drew too. So as you can see, Dormouse 1-card combo is still quite strong. But at the end of the day, Dormouse is still a limited card. So let's see if we open a card that's not limited, which of course is going to be our White Rabbit. So if you open Malice White Rabbit, you can begin by normal summoning the rabbit, activating in order to set TB11 from your deck. Now we can activate TB11, banishing White Rabbit to summon Dormouse from the deck. This will trigger the effect of our White Rabbit to summon back from the banish pile. Now you will not be able to use Dormouse's on-field effect just yet, but don't panic because we can use it later. Instead, we're just going to summon Splash Mage now using our 2 Malice monsters. We're going to activate Splash Mage. You should target exactly Dormouse with Splash Mage here, because Dormouse has not yet been summoned with its banish effect, right? So let's say your opponent had a Bestial monster and you had targeted White Rabbit. They used the Bestial monster to banish the White Rabbit. Now all you have is Splash Mage and nothing else. But if we target Dormouse and they were to use a Bestial monster to banish the Dormouse, obviously Dormouse would then still summon itself. So that's why you want to go Splash Mage, target exactly Dormouse here. And now we are going to go into White Binder using our 2 monsters on the field. Just like last time, we are actually going to hold off on using the on-summon effect of White Binder. We're not going to use that yet. However, we will activate the on-field effect of White Binder to set GWC from our deck. Now we are going to activate GWC, banishing White Binder and special summoning Dormouse from our graveyard. This will trigger the effect of the White Binder to summon from the banish pile and draw a card. But once again, we are not going to use the on-summon effect of White Binder just yet. We can, however, activate the on-field effect of Dormouse, and this will allow us to banish the Chessy Cat from our deck, which we can then special summon off of Chessy Cat's effect. Like so. Alright, now we're going to summon Cyber's Wicked using White Binder plus 1 of our monsters. And now we're going to make Link Decoder using our remaining Malice monster. This will trigger the effect of Cyber's Wicked. We can banish the Dormouse from our graveyard because remember, we have not used the Banish Summon effect of her just yet. And now we can add backup at Ignister. Dormouse effect to summon herself. And now we're going to go backup at Ignister effect, the special summon from hand. We're going to use backup at Ignister in order to actually add March Hare. Once again, like the last combo line, we're not adding Wizard. You might expect that. But no, we're going to add the March Hare off of the backup at Ignister. And then discard any other card in your hand that is not March Hare. Alright, from here, we are going to make the Heart Scriptor using Link Decoder, backup at Ignister, and Dormouse. Now this will trigger the effect of Link Decoder in order to summon from our graveyard. Now we can make our Transcode Talker using Wicked plus Heart Scriptor just like last time. Transcode Talker effect will activate, reviving White Binder from our graveyard. Now White Binder, we do want to use the on-summon effect here to banish the Heart Scriptor, and then we're also going to want to banish one of our Malice Trap cards. I'm going to do TB11 here. We're going to want to banish that out of the graveyard for the Heart Scriptor as well. Heart Scriptor effect will activate, allowing us to summon, and then now we can go into our Allied Code Talker using Link Decoder plus White Binder plus Transcode Talker. We'll summon that right over here. Allied Code Talker effect activates. We're going to revive our Transcode Talker plus our White Binder. And there you go. Now we have pretty much exactly the same setup. You might be wondering, but Lex, what about the GWC? We don't have access to that anymore. Well, that's why we added March Hare, but did not use March Hare's effect in order to summon. Now, just like last time during the opponent's turn, we can go Allied Code Talker effect, tribute White Binder to negate something. Then this time we're going to use March Hare, banish White Binder out of the graveyard. That'll trigger White Binder's effect to summon herself and then draw a card. Then you can do the on-summon effect to banish the Rabbit, as well as, any other Malice cards you want to. Rabbit will summon and then set MTP for the banish plus search. And just like last time, we put TB11 in the banish pile. That way our Heart Scriptor is live right away and can banish a card whenever we want during the opponent's turn. So although it looks different, this is actually the exact same setup pretty much that we had last time. The only real difference is that you end up drawing one card instead of two. Remember last time we drew two cards off the Chessy Cat? This time you get one draw off the White Binder, but only losing one extra draw is definitely not that big of a deal, given that White Rabbit is, you know, much easier to open than Dormouse. It's really not that much weaker of a line at all. But there are still yet more combo lines I can show you. Let's go into the next one. Okay, so if you open Malice and Underground or Gold Sarcophagus, here's how you set the board up. We're going to use our spell card that we opened in order to banish Dormouse from our deck. Now, Dormouse effect activates to special summon. We'll use the on-field effect of Dormouse, banishing White Binder from our deck, or White Rabbit, sorry, from our deck. White Rabbit effect will activate, summoning from Banish, and we can use the effect in order to set TB11 from our deck. Now, we're not going to use TB11 just yet. We're going to first make Splash Mage with our two Malice cards, and then activate in order to revive one of them. There we go. Now, we're going to go into our White Binder using Splash Mage plus White Rabbit. As always, we are not going to use the on-summon effect just yet. However, I will use the on-field effect in order to set GWC from my deck. Let's go activate TB11, banish White Binder, and now I'm going to special summon Chessy Cat from my deck. This will trigger the effect of our White Binder in order to summon from the banish and draw one card. However, I'm once again not going to use the on-summon effect just yet. I'm going to activate the GWC, banishing Chessy Cat, and then reviving one of the Malice monsters that's in our graveyard. Gaining some life points, and then now we can use the effect of Chessy Cat in order to revive. Now we go into Wicked using White Binder plus one of our Malice monsters. The remaining Malice monster is going to get turned into Link Decoder. We'll trigger the effect of our Wicked. And we've already banished all of these Malice cards this turn, so this time I'm just going to banish Splash Mage to add Backup at Ignister from deck to hand. Now we activate Backup at Ignister, special summoning, and then we'll use the effect. And I'm actually going to add Malice March Hare from my deck to my hand, banishing another random card. Now we can activate our March Hare. Let's banish TB11 out of our graveyard in order to special summon. We can then go into Heart Scripter using Link Decoder, March Hare, plus Backup at Ignister. This will trigger the effect of our Link Decoder to revive. Now we can make Transcode Talker using Wicked plus Heart Scripter. And then activate our Transcode Talker to revive White Binder. Now we go activate White Binder effect, yes. We can banish the Heart Scripter out of our graveyard, and then activate Heart Scripter effect in order to revive. Alright, at this point, there are a number of things that you could do here. And I think I'm going to set up my board like this just to show you. Alright, we're going to go into Link Decoder plus White Binder. We'll make Firewall Dragon. Let's activate Firewall Dragon. And we are going to return Malice March Hare to our hand. Now finally, we are going to go Allied Code Talker at Ignister using all three of our monsters on board. Allied Code Talker effect will activate, and we can revive Transcode Talker plus White Binder from our graveyard. And now we have set up pretty much all of the same things that we've been setting up this whole time, right? We don't have Heart Scripter on the field, or we don't also have GWC on the field, but what we do have is the March Hare in hand. So we could either use March Hare to directly banish Heart Scripter during our opponent's turn, and then revive, also having the TB11 to use the Heart Scripter effect, or we could use Allied Code Talker first, negate an opponent's card with White Binder, then during the opponent's turn activate March Hare, banish White Binder. White Binder could banish both Heart Scripter and White Rabbit out of the graveyard, and that would also set up the multiple banishing. If you really wanted to, you could also set up Allied Code Talker with the Firewall Dragon and not use its effect. That way you can use Firewall Dragon to bounce 3 cards during your opponent's turn. But if you do that, you will not be able to set up all of your Malice summons, because you won't have a way to banish White Binder or summon Hardscriptor or do any of that stuff, right? So there's a bunch of different ways that you could end if you open Malice in Underground or Goldstark, but this is the way that not only sets up your Allied Code Talker, but then will also set up your follow-up Malice plays. Okay, got one last bonus combo for you. This one's going to be more of a 1.5 card line, but you might easily find yourself in a situation where you open Backup Bad Initiative plus a bunch of hand traps. So as long as you can normal summon one of those hand traps, we can do so, and then link it off into Salamangreat Almirage. Now, because we control a Cyberse monster summoned from the extra deck, we can special summon our Backup Bad Ignister. Let's go Backup Bad Ignister effect. This time we're actually going to want to add and then discard Dormouse. That might look a little bit weird, but what we are going to do is link our 2 monsters on board into Splash Mage. Now we can go Splash Mage effect in order to revive Dormouse, and then we're going to link summon White Binder using those monsters. This is the only combo line where you do want to use the White Binder on summon effect right away. Every other time we've waited until we revived it off of Transcode Talker. This time I want to use White Binder's effect right away in order to banish the Dormouse from my graveyard. Now we can use the effect of Dormouse to revive from the banished zone, and now we can use the on-field effect of Dormouse to banish White Rabbit. White Rabbit effect will trigger here. We can special summon, and then we are going to set the TB11 from our deck. I'm also going to activate here the White Binder on-field effect to set GWC from our deck as well. Let's activate TB11, banishing White Binder in order to summon the Chessy Cat. And now we can go White Binder effect in order to revive, and also draw 1 card. Alright, let's go into Link Decoder using one of our Malice monsters, and then now we can make the Hardscriptor using our Malice cards there. This will trigger the Link Decoder in order to revive. And at this point, let's go ahead and activate the face down GWC, banishing Hardscriptor to revive one of the Malice monsters from our graveyard, gaining some life points. Then we can use Hardscriptor effect in order to summon from Banish. And finally, we're going to make the Allied Code Talker here, using everything besides Hardscriptor, and then Allied Code Talker will revive the White Binder. So obviously this end board is going to be a lot weaker than the other ones, because we don't get to inherently set up a lot of things, right? Because we set up our trap cards after we summoned White Binder, and we had to use the White Binder effects to, summon right away, or to banish the Dormouse, summon her right away, we're not able to set up the guaranteed banish for Hardscriptor, nor do we actually set up a means of, if we go tribute White Binder off of Allied Code Talker, we don't really have a way of getting into that either. So if you did open like a Bestial monster, then it would be not that big of a deal. You could use your Bestial monster during your opponent's turn in order to banish the White Binder, and then that would trigger the White Binder to banish White Rabbit plus another card. That would establish your multiple banishes off of MTP plus Hardscriptor. So this combo line is obviously not nearly as ideal, but again, we also remember we didn't open any Malice cards to get here. So that's kind of why it plays out weirdly. That's one of the reasons. The other reason is that in all of our other lines, we're able to go Wicked into Backup at Ignister for mid-combo extension. But here, because we began with Backup at Ignister, we don't have that mid-combo extension. Another reason why our end board is significantly weaker in this state. But at the same time, I imagine there are going to be a lot of hands where you have White Binder, Backup at Ignister plus a hand trap. So I still wanted to show off that you can still set up Malice stuff. It might just not be as strong. Okay, there's the combos. Now let's see this build post-ban list in action. Okay, so here we are on Master Ranked Ladder. Gonna test out our post-ban list Malice build and see if we can't get some more like nuanced gameplay, as well as avoiding a rank down here. Okay, we do get to take the first turn. So let's see what our hand looks like, and if they have any hand traps we might have to play through. I mean, that's going to be the big thing about, you know, this version of Malice, right? Is having to play through hand traps. Okay, this hand looks really good. I'm actually going to lead with a lure here. See if I can find, like, an Ash Blossom in case they have, like, a Maxi or something. Get rid of March. I should have banished White Rabbit, actually. Yeah, I definitely should have banished White Rabbit. No, it's not that big of a deal. Hopefully it's not that big of a deal. What order do I want to do this in? I'm trying to think here. Let's start with... I'm gonna start with... I'm gonna start with White Rabbit. No response. I'm gonna set GWC. I think they have a Maxi, though. Should have set TB11 first to dodge Imperm. Okay, they don't have Maxi. That's pretty good. Is it Fua? It'd still be Fualos. Nope. I mean, I guess it could be, but they're missing out on a draw if it is. Let me think for a second. Am I gonna just make Splash Mage Whitebinder here? I think so, yeah. I don't really need to, though, right? I haven't used this banish effect, and I do have March. Well, but I want to keep extenders. Yeah, because if they have like a nib or something, I'd rather have March Hare as an extender. I guess we also have backup and Malice and Underground as extenders as well, but... Impulse? No, they would have used that sooner, right? Maybe? I don't know. Maybe they wouldn't have. Okay. Really wondering what they have here. It could be furniture. I mean, it could just actually be lab. Whitebinder. I have a feeling it is actually a lab. Not even just because of the cosmetics, but like... Okay, we're not using this effect yet. I don't really need to use the other effect, though, right? Because that's just going to set MTP. I could reset TP. No, I could reset GWC later, is what I could do. Yeah, I'll do it that way. Could actually reset GWC right now if I wanted to. It's furniture. It's gotta be furniture at this point. I don't know what else. I mean, it could still be nib, but... Why would you think about nibbing here? I feel like they're trying to bluff me. Like, it's not Maxi, it's not Fua, it's not Imperm, it's not Ash Blossom. All those things would have been activated by this point. It's Herald of Orange Light. Oh, okay, so we might actually encounter Christia here. Ooh, with Keldo? Oh my god, that's brutal. Okay. That's rough, but... Oh, they have another quick effect? Jesus. This was already banished, right? Yeah, off of Allure. I'm not gonna need Malice and Underground, though, right? I can banish that. For Chessy Cat, I mean. Malice and Underground could banish Malice in the Mirror. Would that matter here? I guess it could if I really wanted MTP, but I don't really know if MTP is going to do much here. Banish Underground, that's fine. I'd rather have March Hare. Okay, we have MTP anyway. Alright. I really need to bait out that Keldo. Well, not even really bait out so much as just like, it kind of doesn't matter if they use it or not, right? Yeah, we're gonna make Wicked here. It doesn't matter because I have backup adding this in hand. If I didn't, it would, but... I forgot Marcher doesn't actually target the Malice card, which is really good for me here. Yeah, they're gonna put all my monsters back, that's fine. Yeah! They realized how fine that was for me, actually, right as soon as I said it. I still had the backup adding Nistra too, but even if I didn't have backup adding Nistra in that hand, we still would have been able to search it. So that's a pretty good example of playing through some turn 1 disruption. Let's see if we can get some more disruption going with maybe another game here. All right, let's go into this next game and see if we can get some more good old back and forth gameplay here. Okay, going first. Let's see what we've got. Okay, we got Gold Sark, Allure, Magnum Huts. We have Gold Sark and then some potential extension as well. Hopefully we don't just get Max Seed. I gotta level with you. This is like probably my 15th game I've tried playing. Just because I either start with a Malice card and they concede, or I get Max Seed and it's just not a good game to watch. So I'm really hoping that doesn't happen again here. Alright, Gold Sark for Dormouse. Dormouse, F. Okay, doesn't seem like they have too much so far. Let me go Dormouse. Banish White Rabbit. White Rabbit effect. In order to summon. And then we're gonna go White Rabbit effect. In order to set TB11. Now I'm gonna go into Splash Mage. And activate. Maybe I'll activate. They're gonna Druid Swarm on the Dormouse, okay? I don't know why you wouldn't wait for me to target, but that's completely fine. I don't think that'll affect us too much, right? Or will that even affect us at all? Alright, not activating that just yet. I will use the on-field effect, however, to set the GWC. Yeah, I don't think that... Yeah, they definitely did that at the wrong moment. I don't think the way they did it's going to affect my combo line literally whatsoever. Ash Blossom? There it is, okay. Alright. This stage, now I kind of need to top deck something here off the Allure. Oh no, I don't. Duh, because Whitebinder summons, of course. Well, I kind of do still need to top deck something. Still don't want to banish here, but I will activate Allure. Oh wow, okay. Sure. I guess we'll draw 2 Maxi. I haven't normal summoned, so I could normal summon Fuelos. GWC Banish. Like, Fuelos turns into Almirage. I can make Wicked. Yay. Let's do this. No. Wait, how am I gonna do this? GWC Banish Whitebinder summons Dormouse from Banish. Whitebinder already summoned from Banish, though. That's right. It's gonna be a little bit of a problem then. Let me think. Normal summon Fua, link into Almirage. Going into Wicked doesn't really do much here. Already used Splash Mage. Could go into Little Knight. Normal summon Fuelos, go into Little... Yeah. I think that's actually fine here. Oh, I'm Cybers locked. I can't go into... I can go into Firewall Dragon. That doesn't really do anything here, though. Am I cyber slocked? What cyber slocked me? Oh, probably, yeah, Splash Mage. Okay. Okay, so if I can't go into that... Yeah, access code popping Druid Storm doesn't do anything here. I can still make Firewall Dragon. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I can still make Firewall Dragon, right? And then we'll GWC revive White Binder down here. And then I'll be able to bounce. I can also... Oh, this is perfect, because now I can go... Put White Binder here. Gain life points, yes. Now we go White Binder effect. To banish White Rabbit, and I'll banish TB11 just in case I need Heart Scripter effect to be live later. Now we go White Rabbit effect to special summon and then activate. Now we can set MTP. Okay. Fiendsmith's Tract. Okay, they're gonna add Lurie, and when they go to summon Lurie, I can chain Maxi. Also have a bounce and a banish and impulse. Okay, they're gonna Ash Blossom the Maxi. Okay, so I think I'm gonna impulse the Fiendsmith's Requiem. Or I could MTP, banish. No. I'm gonna impulse the Requiem effect. Yeah, because I might like the banish and the. I might not get a great chance to use impulse later, but the banish and the bounce I can always use on Druid Swarm now. Okay, they haven't normal summoned yet either. Normal summon Gearsu, huh? Okay. Let me think about this for a second. So they're gonna send Harp Horror here. Now this can bounce stuff from the graveyard. But that doesn't necessarily solve my problem. Let me think for a moment here. Let me wait for a second, actually. I don't need to do that just yet. They're also trying to figure out what they want to do here. I wanted to see if they go, like, if they immediately went Gearsu, Galatea IF, pitch their last card. That would be Synchroing. Please don't be Baron. Oh my god, Chaos Angel would also be really rough here. Well, no, it wouldn't. Okay, because they didn't use white monsters. You have to... Let's see. Yeah, I was gonna say, you have to target that. They still have Harp Horror in their graveyard. Let me think about this for a second. Okay, so... we definitely chain Firewall Dragon here. But I think we actually have to bounce the Harp Horror that's in their graveyard. And leave the Chaos Angel. And then I'm also going to chain MTP and banish Whitebinder here. Yeah, I don't get to banish their Chaos Angel, but now I get to revive Whitebinder. I should have considered getting something other than March Hare, actually. Baldrake's not a bad top deck at all. Wow, that's really good. Yeah! Let's go. All right. Okay, so that is another example of a turn 1 combo line that did not start very cleanly at all, but we were still able to push through everything they had towards dub. All right, good stuff. Okay, so now that I've shown you how to combo and also push through disruption and hand traps a little bit with this deck, let me go over the actual list itself. In the grand scheme of things, not a lot has changed as far as like what cards you would expect to see in the main and also the extra deck as well, honestly. Of course, we do not have Red Ransom in the extra deck, so that's kind of the whole point of the video. But as far as some slight changes I did make to the main deck, so for one, I initially thought about playing Synapse Mining as a sort of like really easy way to just have more starters. But I also thought to myself that this card is really weak to both Ash Blossom and Droll and Lockbird. And it's kind of weak overall, requiring you to send a card from your hand to the graveyard. I'd prefer not to rely on Synapse Mining if possible. So that's why we're maxed out on Allures, but that's also why I'm playing Baldrake in addition to a couple of other Bestial monsters here, because these act as very good extenders, right? So that way, even if you open something like Chessy Cat, you can still go into like extend into plays, or if you do open a starter and you get disrupted, you can still potentially use the Bestial monsters to extend further into plays. For the hand trap lineup, it's pretty much everything you would expect to see. Got one Imperm here as a cross out target more than anything else. You could play something else if you wanted to, like Triple Tack or the third Fuelos for Off Engine or a Synapse Mining for Engine, right? But otherwise, yeah, as far as the build goes, it's a lot of what you would expect to already see in Malice. Even though Malice and Underground isn't part of our combo line every time anymore because it can't be searched off Red Ransom, you obviously still want to play it because it is a starter in and of itself. I still like having Malice in the mirror, again, even though Underground's at 1, and it's also not always part of our combo line, because it is still a very good disruption card, and it still has uses if you do open Malice and Underground in certain hands. But overall, like I said, the list itself is still fairly similar to what you would expect to see from Malice right now. It's just how you actually play the lines that's hugely different that we already went over, right? But all in all, I think that's going to go ahead and do it. So thank you so very much for watching. I really appreciate you sticking out all the way to the end of the video, especially a longer one like this. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say. Let's go ahead and move on to the outro and thank our YouTube members and patrons. Hey everybody, Hexlex here. Thank you so very much for watching all the way to the very end of the video, which by the way is one of the best ways to support the channel. Speaking of supporting the channel, take a look at the names on screen. These are folks who have been so generous as to either join as a YouTube member or subscribe over on patreon.com/Hexlex to support. There's also perks for doing so. If you would like to see YouTube videos early, as well as some exclusive videos that get uploaded to YouTube, but for one reason or another I decide not to publish, definitely go ahead and hit that join button to see content early, as well as some exclusive content. If you're looking for more exclusive content, over on patreon.com, I upload exclusive videos that are not posted on YouTube just about every single day. Whether you choose to subscribe over on Patreon, join as a YouTube member, or simply continue to watch, your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you so very much. But for now, this is Hexlex. I am signing out, and I hope that you have a fantastic day.